Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making this tomato braised lamb neck. We start off by, I just washed the actual lamb neck pieces. I only have 4 pieces here. After washing them, I'm just gonna towel dry them. I use kitchen towels for this. You can also use those paper towels, but your kitchen towel must be clean, like it has not been used for anything else before. And obviously, immediately after using it, it is gonna need a wash because you can't use it for anything else because you've just wiped meat with it. But I love doing this. I always have a lot of clean kitchen towels for this very reason, because with this sort of thing, especially after washing it, you might end up using so many paper towels. I also tried this jerk seasoning rub, which I absolutely loved for these. So I'm using this little bit of a rub before we brown our meat, just for an added layer of flavor on this dish. And then I just used a pot that I felt was wide enough for all my pieces to fit nicely, especially for the browning process. But if you don't have a pot that's big enough for all your pieces of meat to really get contact with the surface, you can do it in batches. I always recommend that. And I've added just a little bit of oil, not too much oil because this lamb has a lot of fat. So I just made sure that I minimized the actual oil I added here. And I was just testing my pan there. Actually, it wasn't hot enough. Make sure it's proper hot if you're browning, otherwise your meat starts like boiling and it defeats the purpose of us searing the meat for the flavor. Someone suggested that I should have cut the meat like just on the sides so that it doesn't curl up. So of course that is a good solution for the curled up meat. I think I wasn't too concerned about it because I am braising the meat, but I think it's a really good idea to remember to do that because it's just going to help you with presentation at the end, right? So we are just cutting up a whole onion so that we can saute here. I think that obviously if you're braising any meat, you absolutely need the flavor of onion and carrot and that sort of thing. This time around, I'm just using onions and carrots, but just those base flavors are really important for these braised meats, and you should just know it as a standard rule. So once both sides are browned, I do remove the meat from the pan and then I come in with my onions. I am using the same pan and I'm not cleaning it up because I want to keep those flavors of the meat in the pot. The only thing I'll do in just a bit, you will see, is I will deglaze the pot so that the pot doesn't continue burning. So we'll add just water, but for deglazing you can use water, wine, stock, whatever you prefer, but in this case I'm just using water, and it's just going to get rid of the black bits that are stuck to the bottom so that the pot doesn't keep on burning. Rather just use the existing flavors from the meat. And I like to chop up my carrots really fine. I don't really enjoy big pieces or slices of carrot, but of course you can absolutely decide to have slices of carrot here. Those would be fine too. I used a total of 2 whole carrots for this process, and I found it worked out really well. The sweetness of the carrots actually worked out really well. Since this is a tomato based stew, the sweetness of the carrots balanced out the acidity of the tomatoes. You see I ended up not adding any sugar, but if you do taste it and find that it's gotten really sour, you can add a bit of sugar. So just to recap, carrots have gone in, also some garlic. Absolutely love garlic, guys. Like garlic goes with nearly everything. And I tried this chili tomato paste that is supposedly authentically Italian here. And you know what? This dish turned out good, so I'm probably gonna try it again. So for the spices, I am using some garam masala, some curry powder. This is a hot, wet curry powder. And lastly, I am adding some cayenne pepper because I wanted a bit of that spiciness to continue from the tomato paste. So very simple flavors, and honestly, I will add the exact quantities down below, but I didn't want it to be overly curried. Like, this is not a curry. It is, I think, just like a braised, braised meat dish. But I wanted, obviously, those, curry flavors. Are you even South African if you don't add a curry to your stew? Once we've established a flavor base for this, stew, we can bring back our browned meat, and I would want to actually add, some stock at this stage too. So I'm using these little concentrated stock packets, but you can use stock cubes, you can use an actual, proper stock that you've made, but this is the time to, add a bit more flavor. Also, people always ask me why I'm using a stock that's not flavored like the same way as what I'm cooking. Honestly, I don't fuss about that, and I don't use stock a lot in my cooking. So there's no way I'm gonna buy stock for beef, chicken, veg, and lamb and cook it once every 2 weeks. So I just buy whatever stock I need at that time, and whatever's left behind I use for these sorts of dishes going forward. I'm using a whole can of tomatoes here. We did say it is tomato braised meat, so we are going gang on the tomato. There's tomato paste, there's tomato, there's a can of tomatoes. If you don't have canned tomatoes and you have fresh tomatoes that you want to use up, I normally equate like canned tomatoes to about a cup of chopped up tomatoes. So if you chop up your tomatoes and you get a whole cup out of them, I think you can get away with doing that, and you will have similar results to what I've had here. So I just make sure that I stir everything together so that all of the flavors I've added, the stocks, the flavor bases we added at the beginning, kind of marry together before we add the water. Now, I just wanted to add enough water to kind of be so that the meat is kind of immersed in it properly, but not too much water. And I just want to state that at this stage, my heat is already on low. I added additional salt here because you saw I actually tasted it. So this is salt that I'm adding over here, because I honestly believe in having your food seasoned from the beginning. I also add black pepper, which is very, very important for this dish, and lots of it too. Salt and black pepper are very important. It's like you can look down on the idea of adding them, but they make the biggest difference. A stew that you probably tasted and it was bland or whatever, it probably just needed seasoning. So always start with seasoning when in doubt. So now that I've stirred everything together, I can let this go. I actually let it go for about an hour and a half, and just maybe every 20 minutes or so I would come in and stir it. But you want to let your stews just sit and do their thing. Don't open your pot every now and then. You're not giving the meat a chance to steam properly and get cooked through. After an hour and a half, I added my potatoes, because I always give potatoes about 30 minutes to cook in a stew. And obviously you're going to taste it before, knowing for sure that they're ready. But I gave them 30 minutes to cook here, and that was the perfect time. This means that your meat cooked for a total of 2 hours till it was ready. You see that my stew doesn't have a lot of water, and that's a good thing. And what has made that happen is the fact that I have kept it on low heat. Please cook your stews on low heat and you will see the difference. You don't burn it, you don't have to keep adding too much water. So the temperature here is very important. I obviously close this up for it to cook further. This is how it looked after 30 minutes. As you can see, without me even touching the potatoes, they look nice and opaque, which means they are cooked through. And you can see they've seeped into the sauce as well, because it's now much thicker as well. So anyway, at this stage, it is ready for us to serve. I had mine with some flatbread that I made. So I'm just now dishing this up quickly and just, getting ready to take some shots for my Instagram. If you are not following me yet, do follow me. My handle is Koliwe_cooks on Instagram, and I share far more recipes on there. You should be following me if you love all things food like I do. Anyway, this is the end of the recipe part of our video. But today I decided to share just a little bit more about my, just the previous week that I've had, and a few things that might make you or help you get to know me a little better. I obviously love wine. I share a lot of that on my Instagram as well. So I always just pour myself a bit of wine, on the weekend just to unwind. And I really loved this this rosé. It is a Grenache Shiraz blend, which is incredible. It is a French wine. Another thing I absolutely love is exploring our beautiful country, South Africa. So this past weekend, I went to Venda, Thohoyandou, and with my friends, so I explored quite a bit. I didn't take too much footage because it was so fun, but what you're seeing here is my basically we were on our way back to Johannesburg. So I was, now I had a chance to finally film a few clips, especially my market experience in Shakuma. So that was really lovely. But I thank you guys for watching this video up to this point. I hope you enjoy this content. Do let me know if you want to see more vlog style videos, because I'm quite interested in that. So I'm very interested to hear what you think about that. And yeah, until next time, guys, do enjoy this recipe and do let me know if you tried it and how it turned out for you.
Sweet potato. Murambo. Ndinyari na murambo hange. Ndikobona murambo akala. Wege. Oh. Ndikufira ndamira. Abasezere murambo bane kwabana wege yako. Abagenda chibodero. Bona batumurambo muyanga. Bashotana murambo gachigodero.